Happy Friday. So thought I'd do a quick drop in into the group to talk about a subject that seems to get people a little bit perplexed, which is driving traffic, right? So, you know, traffic's the thing, right? If you're not getting traffic to anything, then you're going to really have a tough time, right? So question came up is like what is the best way to drive traffic? And unfortunately, the answer to that question is there is no best way to drive traffic. There is only the best way for you to drive traffic. And everyone's a little bit different, right? Everyone's business relies on something that just may not be suitable for somebody else, right? So, for instance, like we don't do any like Facebook ads. So I don't do really paid traffic for our business. We do it in other ways, but there's other coaches, consultants around who will spend upwards of, 10, 20, $30,000 a month driving traffic through Facebook to whatever it is they're trying to get them to do, whatever that action is. So I thought I'd spend a little bit of time and just kind of walk you through um, the traffic and the kind of ways to do it so that you can pick what the best thing is for you, right? Now, the thing you've got to understand is that there really is, let me share this, right? So there really is only three ways to drive traffic. There's not 100 ways, right? There's really only three. So if you think it this way, right, you got your traffic in the center, right? The first way you can drive traffic, which is the way that a lot of people like to go, is to do the free thing, right? To drive traffic free, right, in here. Now, free traffic has its pros and cons, right? Free traffic is great because it's free, but it takes a lot of time. That's the con, right? So you're going to pay for it. The way you're going to pay for free traffic is you're going to pay for it in time. But if you think about what free traffic does and the way to kind of get the free traffic, what is it we're typically doing, guys? So we're going to do content, right? You're going to get free traffic through writing content. You're going to get free traffic through things like maybe a podcast, right? So if you've got a podcast, you can get that on Apple, you can get it on Spotify. You can start pushing that to your list and then driving people back to whatever it is you want to go, right? It might be back to a landing page. It could be some kind of lead magnet. It could be to your program. It could be to anything, right? It could be to anything. Now, the thing about doing it this way, as I said, is, it takes time. This is not a shortcut, right? Driving traffic on free organically, it just takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of effort, and you've got to be pretty prolific at generating the content in the first place. So yeah, it's free, which is kind of cool, but just understand it's going to take time. So that's the first way, right? That's number one. Let's call that one. The second way, right? What can we do? Well, the second way for doing this, honestly, is paid, right? So the second way you can do this is paid traffic. We're running, anything from, you're going to do some ads, right? You can run some ads, and those ads are typically going to be either through Google. Let me expand this. Right, Google, it could be through Facebook. YouTube is another way to do this, right? So, which is great, right? And paid traffic is awesome because it allows you to do a couple of things. One, it allows you to measure. So when you're paying for traffic, you can actually measure on a cost per click, right? Cost per action basis. So you can see exactly what your money's doing. The other thing is it's quick, right? It's actually quick to actually see how bad or how good your ad is performing. So, and then by the way, you can actually do it relatively cheaply if you're trying out some new creative, right, through Facebook. Um, but yeah, it's fast, right? Another thing is that it can scale, right? You can actually scale paid traffic fairly easily. Now, there's a lot of nuances, right, to scaling your paid traffic. Um, but the fact that you can measure it, right, you can see how it's performing, you can make adjustments on the fly if you need to. These are all wonderful things, right? The con in all of this, though, right, is it costs you money. It's money. Our recommendation for anybody is unless your business is actually generating 25 to 30K a month in revenue, I wouldn't touch paid ads because it can be an expensive proposition, right? It can be a very expensive proposition. So we've got this situation, right, where we can use our time to create content. We can get the content out there. We can drive traffic organically into our website, to our landing pages, into workshop, whatever it is we're doing. But we can just create content, and creating content also helps build authority in your space. People want to see you. People want to hear from you, right? But it is not a fast return. Typically, it's not a fast return. So you have to be figuring out exactly, is that the right strategy for you? Is creating content the right strategy for you? Second way, paid traffic, right? Through Google, YouTube, Facebook, whatever. You can scale it, you can measure it, and it's really fast. However, you gotta have some fairly decent revenues to begin with to make the damn thing work, right? It is not inexpensive to run paid traffic. So you have to weigh that up against the one thing that you might have in your business, which is, hey, I've got time, right? I've got time. So where was I? Oh yeah, let's go back to this. So I said there was 3 ways, right? The third way of doing this, again, great, but it's not fast, but it does have a lot of advantages, right? Is JVs, right? Partnerships. Partnerships allow us to actually take advantage of other people's audiences. So this would be like someone coming to me and saying, "Hey, James, really like what you're doing. I think we've got some synergy. Your audience are actually people that I'm looking for, but for a whole different reason, right? We're not in competition with each other, but I really like your audience. And by the way, if you put me in front of yours, I will put you in front of mine, right?" The really cool thing about doing partnerships, and this can't be overstated, is there's this thing that happens, which is an immediate trust. So the trust of your partner, the person that's putting you in front of their audience, the trust that the audience has in them automatically transfers to you, right? So other people's audiences, right? OPA, other people's audiences are a great way of getting in front of a lot of people at once without you having to go out and actually find them. What we want to do is to find people who are in business with the same clients or that have access to the people that you want to get access to, then work with them and find some kind of quid pro quo that allows them to put you in front of them. Now, listen, I told you this is great, but it can take a long time. Right? It can take a long time, guys. So I wouldn't automatically put someone in front of my audience just because they ask. Right? There has to be a lot of trust that's built up before right, because what we don't want to do, just as much as this trust transfers from me to them, if they screw it up, that transfers back to me, right? I'm now looking like an idiot because I put some bozo in front of my audience, and my audience are going, what the hell, right? Who is this guy or gal? So it takes a while to build up enough trust in your partner for them to put you in front of their audience. But if you can build enough of that, if you can build enough JV partners, and honestly, it doesn't have to be joint venture, right? There are some people who will do this because actually, believe it or not, it benefits them to have someone else in front of their group. And, you know, we do it periodically. We will get some really smart people to come in and do some training for our clients. But they're not looking to go and take our clients, right? What they'll do is they'll then put me in front of their clients to do some training on stuff that they aren't experts on. So we have that going on for us as well, right? But sometimes those clients will move over. Sometimes they will call and say, hey, listen, you know, I liked what you said. I'm stuck on this. Can you help? Just understand that joint ventures are probably the most effective, but take the longest time. Free works, but it takes a while. But if you're strapped for cash and the one thing that you do have is time, then yeah, create content, right? Create content. But just be really clear about, again, we always want to say that creating content and not knowing who you're creating it for or what your message is, or, you know, not knowing what result you're going to get for your client without having that information at hand, then you're just creating content for the sake of creating content. It's not actually doing anything. So this is it, right? These are your traffic sources, right? This is how you're going to, there are only these three ways, guys. There only is these three ways to do it. So just remember, right? Free, paid, joint venture. What's good for you might not be good for someone else. There is no best way to drive traffic. There is only the best way for you. Right? There's only the best way for you. So hopefully that was, you know, actually I just want to jump in. It's Friday. I'm like nothing else to do. Like, come on, let's jump in and do some education. So what else? Well, you're probably seeing, I think it's going to be below this, that Ange and I are looking to run a 90-day planning workshop for our clients in mid-July, right? If you're local in Fairfax and you feel like you want to sit down for 2 or 3 hours and actually start banging out what the next 90 days in your business is going to look like and create your action plan, and we're going to help you do all this. We've got a great methodology, highly effective. Then, you know, we've got a few guest places. If you guys want to come and join, then come join. Like, just let us know that you're interested in coming in, right? We're going to do a light lunch because it'll be a working lunch. Thing about doing these 90-day planning sessions is we bang them out. Like, we get it done. And it's one of those things where you just have to create space for yourself and your business to do the work. So if you're not going to sit in a room with us, it's highly unlikely that you're going to sit with anybody else or sit even on your own and bang out your 90-day planning, right? Bang out your next 90 days of actions and projects. This is why we do it, right? We just create a space for you to come, sit, and just work on this stuff. And we're there to guide you through and make sure that you're getting the right things in the right place. So that's going to happen mid-July. And if you are interested, stick it in the comments. If you're in the Fairfax area, we'll get in touch. Like I said, we've got probably five guest spaces we can offer up. So it's all free, right? We're not going to charge.
We just like to do it, and we do it for our clients. So just let us know. Put in the comments that you're interested, and we'll get you all the details. What else? Yeah, there's some good stuff coming down the pike, and I'm really excited about it. One of these things is it's about group coaching, and I'm pretty excited. And this is probably something we're going to launch in September. We do it. We had been doing it like twice a year. We hadn't done it this year for a number of reasons, but we think we're going to probably do it. Which is launching a program on how you guys can actually design, fill, and launch your own group coaching program. Right? It's really cool. We did it. We designed it. We used it for a long, long time. Anyway, so that's going to be happening, but we'll give you more details on that in due course. All right, that's me. 16 minutes in. It is Friday. I'm excited for the weekend. So hope you guys are all good. Any problems, anything I can help you with, stick it in the comments. Drop us a note. Let us know. We're here for you. All right. Thanks, guys. And talk soon.